New hair, who this? New hair, who this? Let me open the window. Okay. Yeah, okay. Hi guys, my name is Zahira. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I thought it would be like an interesting video if I were to tell you guys my stats, extracurriculars, and essays that got me into UC Berkeley, UC Santa Barbara, UCSD, UCR. I got waitlisted at Irvine and then I got rejected at UCLA. New hair, who this? Like, I just dyed it a few days ago. Do you guys like it? I really want to go red for a long time, so I'm glad I did. Today is currently Sunday, March 31st, 5 o'clock p.m. Okay, I just wanted to put like a disclaimer before I start talking about like my academic record and like my extracurriculars that in no way am I trying to sort of flaunt or brag about what I've done. I remember when I was like a junior in high school and I would watch these on repeat. I would watch this when I eat. I would watch this like before I do homework to give me like motivation. It was more of like my own doing, but I would compare myself to the people that I'm watching and I'm like, oh my god, there's no way I can get into UC. Like, they're like finding the cure to cancer, like doing all these things. I'm just like, no, there's no hope. I kind of want to do the opposite and I want to give you guys my stats so that you guys have hope for when you guys apply for college, because my stats are honestly probably below average. I wanted to give you guys that person on YouTube who is realistic, you know, like who did work a job. I just want to say, if you're here to compare yourself to me, get the fuck out. Like, I don't want you to do that because it's very, very unhealthy for you, and that's how it made me feel really insecure about myself. And so get out. Like 3 seconds to get out, like just like okay. So for the demographics and socioeconomic status, I included this because UC system considers context, and I think that's very important, so I'm just gonna be telling you guys that. My ethnicity is Vietnamese, and the first language that I spoke is Cham. So Cham is basically an indigenous minority in Vietnam. If that didn't make sense, I'm sorry. I suck ass at explaining shit, but if you want more clarification, please comment down below. For my socioeconomic status, my entire family was born in Vietnam, and I was the first one to be born in the US. Right now, we're currently lower to working class. Then for my location, it's very unknown. I'm from Riverside County, or more specifically, I'm from Moreno Valley, which is a city inside Riverside. I went to a public high school and I would say it was not competitive at all. Next, I will include a picture of what my schedule looked like all 4 years of high school, but I'm only going to be talking about AP classes because those are kind of what makes you stand out as a candidate. AP Calc AB, AP Lang, AP Lit, AP Gov, AP Macro, Econ, AP Euro, AP United States History or APUSH. Oh my god. Okay, I took AP Psych. Starting with AP Calculus, I got a 1. Yeah. If you can't tell, math is not my strong point. AP Lang and AP Euro, I got 2s. Okay, let's just continue. AP Gov, AP Macro, Econ, AP Push, AP Psych, AP Lit, I got 3s on all of the exams. Babes, like, y'all don't need 5s to get to like big schools, you know? Look at what I did. Like exhibit A. Like, okay, I did not submit the ACT. My weighted GPA was 4.384. Then my unweighted GPA was 3.871. I was ranked number 14 out of 493 students. For each college, I applied with kind of the same major except Berkeley. This is, when I explain this, like, you guys are gonna see how unserious my personality is and how much like I actually don't give a fuck. Like UC San Diego and UCR, I applied as business econ. UC Santa Barbara, I applied as accounting and econ. Waitlisted at UCI, but I applied as business admin. Berkeley is really weird. This pattern of like business econ, like, oh okay, like a girl in business, you know. When I applied to Berkeley, I applied as an architect major. I picked the major because it sounded cool, but I have no experience with architecture whatsoever. But if you guys think like I applied to Berkeley as architect to like get in easier, architecture is actually an impacted major, so Looking at my activities and awards, they're all scattered and not strategically placed. And I know that people like organize them to where like most significant to like least. Yeah, that's a really good strategy. I didn't do any of that shit. So my first extracurricular was that I played JV softball for 9th, like half of 10th grade, because that's when COVID happened. I wasn't on a team before, and so I self-taught myself to play softball, buy my own equipment, and then I would practice in my garage, and then somehow I made the fucking team. Like, I really don't know how. I was the president of the anti-bullying club for my 12th grade year, and then for my 11th grade I was sergeant of arms. We record attendance, and then 10th grade year I was just like a general member. I was also in link crew and was a general member for my 11th and 12th grade year. I was a secretary of book club also my 11th and 12th grade year. I was the ambassador of teen suicide prevention awareness program. I worked at a pho shop for all 4 years of high school. So I was the waitress, the cashier, and the dishwasher. Senior year of high school, I made my own essay workshop in collaboration with my high school's cow soap program. It's kind of like a Riverside thing. Basically, with this workshop, I helped students edit, plan, or brainstorm ideas for essays. So these essays could be like for assignments, scholarships, college applications. Okay, the next activity is my YouTube channel, where I would give advice regarding academics or time management, etc. Just things that involved like high school. And I did honor guard my junior year of high school. I babysat my niece all 4 years of high school. For my first award, I was a Carson Scholar, a scholarship given by Ben Carson for good academic record and displays of good humanitarian qualities within the community. And then I was also a recognized Carson Scholar for 2023. So it was like 2 years technically for the award. I had academic achievement all 4 years of high school. I had the merit award of certificate for link crew, the certificate of excellence officer position for the anti-bullying club, the certificate of appreciation teen suicide awareness program. Anti-bullying club is like the biggest club in my high school, and I feel like colleges like to see quantity. Okay. Moving on to the essays. For the first prompt, I answered the leadership question. To sum it up, I had this one experience where, so I worked at my sister's pho shop all 4 years of high school. At the pho shop, my sister's usually there, and she's like, I'm like her little minion. Like, she tells me to go do things and I'll do it, you know? So then one day says that she's gonna be a few hours late. And this is when we had our chef, her name's Nancy. She's a very sweet woman, but Nancy only speaks Vietnamese. When she wasn't there for those few hours, I was kind of like put into this leadership position. Like I was like thrown into it, like fucking like thrown in the shower, like for real. Like, and as I'm trying to figure out this huge language barrier that I have with Nancy, a flock of customers start coming in to the shop, and I'm having to like Google translate things. I'm having to like talk to her like, oh, this customer doesn't want like lettuce or something, you know, like things like that. From this experience, I learned 3 core values that I still carry to this day: perseverance, humility, and empathy. So I just talked about how I had to manage the shop myself, and even though it was really scary, like I had to do it. I don't know what else to put it, like, yeah. Then the second prompt, I answered the creative question. So for this one, I wrote about my hardships being Cham Vietnamese American. In this essay, I explained how I struggle to express my own culture. I only speak English and Cham. However, my entire family, they're trilingual. They speak English, Vietnamese, and Cham. Vietnamese being like the national language. So if we go to like OC or like Garden Grove or Bolsa, like they can speak to the people in the grocery store or like order food at a restaurant, but I can't do that because I didn't learn Vietnamese. Through that essay, explained how I was very lost and I didn't know which world I belonged in. They see me look clearly Vietnamese, but I don't speak it. In this essay, I kind of made it a point that I thought language was the one and only way to express culture, but then I learned that it's not. So a few years ago, I learned to mia fan dancing. It was a way for me to invest more in my Cham culture. Essentially, the entire idea of this creative essay was that I found a solution to a problem in which there is no one way to express your culture. My back's itchy. The third prompt, I answered the what is the most significant challenge you've had to face. So for this one, I don't know if you guys have noticed in my other YouTube video, if you guys fucking watch it, like my hand is curved and it's very crooked. So in comparison with this, so when I was born it was like this, but I got surgery to kind of widen it, and I have to get surgery to widen this part soon. But it's abnormally, but this hand is much smaller than the other. Let me just read what the fuck I wrote in my essay, like, bitch. So Poland syndrome is a rare birth defect that affects 1 in 100,000 individuals. So this disorder affects typically the right side of the body, and it creates underdeveloped or missing body parts. This essay, I just talked about the physical and mental hardships that I had to endure. I remember playing softball was really hard for me because the ball was really big and it's like hard for my hand to clamp onto it. Braiding hair is really hard for me. Carrying like coffee mugs, simple tasks that should be relatively easy for a normal person were much harder for me to do. In middle school and high school too, people would bully my hand. Fuck those kinds. Bitch, who's on top now? Like, the fuck? Call me alien hand. Some people would refuse to shake my hand because it just looked so different, and they were so, like, I guess, disgusted by it. I grew up in a predominantly Latino and Black community. Being Asian is already, I'm like a standout, you know, and then me having Poland syndrome is even a bigger standout. And so it was just all of these things colliding with each other and making my sense of identity and kind of my self-esteem, it just began to crumble. Even though I saw my hand as kind of like this burden for the rest of my life, it taught me to work harder and persevere more to get what I want. I just learned to accept it, you know? Something that I saw as such a bad thing actually taught me to be an overall better person. So for the fourth prompt, I answered, what have you done to make your school or community a better place? I made this YouTube channel in order to help people at my high school who are just like me. It takes me a second to understand something. I want to help people who are just like me, who like it took them a little bit longer to understand something. It took them a second to fit in the classroom. I wrapped that in talking about how I also created my essay workshop because I wanted to help other people with their essays and stuff. I come from a low income area. I don't think academics is very much pushed in my school, and so everything is very like laid back. I made the workshop as a resource for people in my community. Okay, we're done with that shit. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I hope you guys choose a college that you love and don't feel pressured to choose any other college, or don't feel worthless for not getting into a certain college. Rejection is redirection. Okay, bye guys, see you guys next time.